Paulette Putra. I'm from Muscatine First Nation. I'm the Executive Director of Two Spirits Emotion Society. We're having the third annual Traditional Two Spirits Emotion Society Powwow. First year we had one drum and we had 193 dancers that was registered. And then in year two we had 13 drums and we went from 543. And this year we have 18 drums that we're trying to register. We could only have 16. And like we're just outgrowing the space, so I don't know. I think it's gonna grow into something big, and we have vendors. We have up to 40 vendors here, so it's really huge. It's getting bigger, and I just love it. Takes a lot of our time. This is one of our biggest events that we host throughout the year. We look forward to it. We look for funding from everywhere. We have all these string line budgets. We look for sponsorship, donations, and it takes all year round to just start planning. So it's usually just me and my staff. Our first year we did it on our own, and the second year we got contractors, and that made a big difference. And third year it just makes it seem easy to have those contractors come. They're doing the jobs that we ask them to do, and they're doing them respectfully, keeping the space gender affirming and safe. So the first one we named it a Two-Spirit Pow. The second time we just named it after our organization and called it a Traditional Pow, because we wanted to have that same pull of dancers and singers to come to the venues and to see. And it's just gender affirming. So gender affirming meaning like you can come there with any pronoun. The difference is when you come here, you're not registering as the binary of male and female. You're registering as a dancer, whatever age you are, and that's it. That's the only thing that you need to register is just your age, and that's a big difference in a powwow. It's important to have a two-spirit safe space, gender affirming space, because a lot of our youth, they know who they are. They know what they need in life. They know where is safe space, and we're starting to create that within our own communities. And I think it's important as Indigenous people that are queer and identify with the 2S LGBTQIA+, it's important for us to be hosting this space and making it safe, and then showing community members that are in the powwow circuit that there's ways to be gender affirming, there's ways to be inclusive, there's ways to make space for our two-spirit relatives so that we can combat things like suicide, and we can combat things like drug and alcohol use. We can have these safe spaces for our youth, because it's really important that we start changing the narrative of what that looks like in that powwow circuit. That's why we started it. Started with our youth council. It was interesting. The first year I had no idea what I was doing, even though I've been in the powwows community my entire life. There's a lot of learning curves. What I like is that we have really a great vibe with all of the contractors that we have. They have relatives, they become family with us, and they're just safe people. And I feel like we outgrown Prairieland. I think we're going to be moving into a bigger venue because it's calling for that. We're having more dancers, more singers, and more vendors. So I think it's time that we move forward. So that's what I'd like to see in the future. At some point, I would like to be an outdoor powwow.
My name is Raylyn Carrier. I am Nehio Esqueo from Paipot Cree Nation. I'm the arena director for this year's celebration. This is actually only my second time. Last year I got the opportunity when Paulette reached out to me to ask if I wanted to help out with this celebration. So this is my second time. I myself have grew up around the powwow circle since I was 4 years old. So I'm a fancy shawl dancer. I kind of say semi-retired, not fully. So I've been around powwows. A female arena director, like you said, isn't a traditional role. There have been female arena directors through the US, powwows, things like that, right? So once I got the opportunity and was asked, I really thought about it, understood that I understand the powwows, the protocols, things that go around with the whole scenario of a powwow. So it was just really getting that mindset. And I think it's a really good opportunity to have a female presence within that role, because it makes it, I feel, a little bit more approachable for maybe female dancers, children. A lot of it's really male dominated. So I think it's just more inclusivity to bring the female aspect into the arena that way. Yeah, you're on your feet a lot more. Not too many challenges. Everyone's been very accepting. I've gotten a lot of good feedback, especially when I did it last year, because it's not something that's seen a whole lot, especially in Saskatchewan. Yeah, I just got a lot of good feedback. People were happy to hear that there's a female arena director around, and yeah, it's been really good experience.
My name is Jo Marie Enish. I'm a part of the board of directors. I was nominated not too long ago, and I was told that I had like the freedom, like the creative freedom. And so one of the things that was mentioned was that they were interested in having different types of beadwork from all like from different Two-Spirit nations. And so the way that I designed it, which is on moose hide and also caribou hide, it's really just a reflection of the region I'm from. So I'm from Eowisji. I'm Cree Naskapi. People call us the Quebec Crees. So it was really just something to reflect my region, and I'm really grateful for how it turned out. Like, I didn't really have a plan. That was my first time making crowns. And so I just sort of like trusted the process. I had one of the ambassadors come up to me recently, and they were just talking about how much they're grateful for the crown and how it's really a reflection too, because they're woodland Cree, and a lot of our beadwork resonates with them.
I am a sash maker. I've made for the last 3 powwows. Yes, the sashes for the ambassadors. They just asked me to make sashes, so I had the logos digitized so I could do patches, and then I do the writing Two-Spirit Youth Ambassador or Two-Spirit Ambassador. I write on them. I just saw them after. The last 2 years I was here, but I didn't get here on time. It feels good, kind of proud, yes, yeah. I'm glad that they turned out enough that they were happy with them. Actually, the first year that the 2 ambassadors were my grandchildren, it turned out. So yes, I got to see them dance a lot, and the others I have talked to. Yes, it's a few powwows as delegates and stuff. So I'm proud. Yeah, it's nice to see. Yeah.
My name is Jeff Ross. I'm from Niverville, Manitoba. My name of my company is Ayuan Outfitters. The reason we chose that name is because Ayuan is a Cree word for fur, and we chose Outfitters because we outfit people with their regalias, and it just fit. So that's where the name came from. That's where I come from. We are fur and leather suppliers. Our main focus is to supply the Indigenous community with top quality product at a fair, reasonable price. We don't want them taken advantage of, and we actually don't buy through third or fourth party suppliers. So I actually go right to the auction, buy right from the source to keep our prices down, and we actually just travel to events. So we pass the savings on to people who need it. Because, well, I'm Indigenous, I'm Métis, and I believe that the Indigenous community is taken advantage of by the non, and that's why I started this, so that I can put a stop to it. You know, the fur industry is where I have a passion for, and I want to pass it on because I know there's a demand, and I know there's a lot of places that charge too much for what you're getting, and you're here to help people rather than take advantage of them. It's not easy to start, but failures are what's going to teach you to not make them again. You know what I would say is be fair. You know, I don't need to make a fortune or become rich, but the good feeling that you're going to get from passing on a savings or a good deal to someone will be more rewarding than, you know, being rich. It's tough, but just keep trying.
My name is Mike Lafreniere. The name of my business is Shoney Crees, and I'm from the Métis Nation of the Red River Valley in Manitoba. I sell Indigenous crafts, handmade ribbon skirts, handmade jewelry, the family, everybody's involved. I was told Louis Riel mentioned the Métis Nation will sleep for 100 years. It'll be awakened, it'll be revitalized by the artist. This is my small part in revitalizing the Métis Nation. Love what you do. That's number one, you have to love what you do, whatever it is. Whatever it is, just love it, and you'll be successful.
My name is Leander Drever. I'm the son of Jessica Rabbitskin, and this is her business. This is our family business, but this was all behind her, and we are from Big River First Nation. We sell a lot of, it differs in clothing, it comes from accessories, we make beaded earrings, we make lanyards, we make shirts, we make sweaters, ribbon skirts, ribbon shirts, we make custom mugs, custom phone cases, wallets, a variety of things, as long as it involves our culture and we have cultural ways to do it. Indigenous entrepreneurship, it is important because it shows everyone around us that we can do things, we can start our own businesses, we can take that step forward to further ourselves, our businesses and our communities, ourselves. We don't have to pay someone to come start a business here for us to make money. We don't have to do all these steps. We can do it ourselves, and in doing it ourselves, we can include as much as our culture and our traditions and who we are within it, which is important to keep us alive. We have to remember we can do it ourselves. We can put that first step forward. We can open that new door, essentially. And that's something really that my mother did when she started this business. All thanks to her teachings that her grandma passed down to her, which came from her grandma, and so on and so forth. Using what you have to further yourself, to get what you want, is really something that I think Indigenous peoples, communities need to know, and they need to believe, because that's the only way that they're ever gonna take the time to take that step forward and do it themselves. That's what I see within what my mom has done. If someone wants to start a business, what I would say is look at yourself, because that's where it comes from. It comes from you. When you start a business, a lot people think it's that generic, have a big idea, make it, build it, it's there. Businesses come in many varieties, many shapes, many forms. It's not something you have to think of one day. It could be something you already have. It's there, you just have to see it and you have to learn how to grow with it. It's harder to try to do something that you don't understand than to use what you have. That's what my mom did. She could have went and did how many other things, but the first thing she did is looking at what she had. And that was her knowledge with crafting. That was her knowledge within our cultures to do these things. And that's what helped her take that first step towards building one is. Just look at your own strengths and you will almost definitely find something there that is worth building on.
My name is Danielle Poitras and my business is My Heart, Your Hands. I am from Treaty 4 Muscatine and I now live in Saskatoon. I sell beaded earrings that I do all myself because there's so many Indigenous people who have such beautiful art and don't always have that opportunity to share and show their talent. Go for it. Go for it. You can't lose. You're sharing your talent, you're sharing your knowledge and your creations. You can't lose.
I'm Nicole, and the name of my business is Gaia's Designs, and I'm from Saskatoon. My Métis roots come from Cree and Soto. So I sell a variety of products, handmade gemstone bracelets, necklaces, earrings. We do wearable art shirts, handbags, lots of variation, and men's and ladies' jewelry. Well, it's extremely important because we want our youth to have something to look forward to and be able to create and keep our culture thriving, and also for the economy for Indigenous people. Definitely be willing to work hard, and nobody's going to do the work for you, and know that you can live your passion and your dream. Don't give up. Keep going. You got it. I would say my biggest hurdle is not believing enough in my product and in myself and who I am as a Métis woman. And I'm going to conquer that. And I'm starting to believe more every day. And the community and the people is just so inspirational to me that I feel right where I'm supposed to be. And my journey is just beginning.
My name is Brenda McLaren. Our business is called McLaren Shirts and Things. We're from One Arrow First Nation, Treaty 6 territory, living in Saskatoon. We sell t-shirts, hoodies, tote bags, travel mugs, glass mugs, lighters. I think it's important to build community with other Indigenous entrepreneurs. It's important to show that we have a sense of working hard, we're creative, we're determined, and we want to leave a legacy for the next generations to come. Be patient. It's hard work, but it's worth it in the end. You might not benefit financially in the beginning, but you'll benefit with like the friendships you make, the networking you do, the people that you meet. It'll be a fun time.
My name is Tobias Provost. My Blackfoot name is Simmo'i Kimi, which means grassy water. That was my grandfather's name, and I took that name about 30 years ago. The name of my business here, if you want to call it that, is T&E Grassy Water Crafts. T is my name, Tobias, and my wife's name is Edna, and my Blackfoot name is Grassy Water. Oh, we sell things mainly for dancers. We sell some earrings, some jewelry, pink shell, porcupine quill, We sell a lot of otters, Angora sheep, bells, lots of bells, armbands, different things, just mainly for powwow dancers. It's important, it gives us an economic foundation to stand on. Just find out what they're good at, do some market research, find out what kind of niche they'll fit in. There's always a need for something. For us, it's powwow dancers and spectators in general. Think about what you're good at, what you can make, or what you want to do, what kind of service you want to provide, and then just go with it. There's lots of these Indigenous business corporations that are out there that are looking for people, especially for youth and females. So, just do your research, practice your business plan writing, and then just figure out what you need and how you want to sell your products, and what kind of benefits your business, your entrepreneurship will bring you.
My name is Karen Meshach Ferris. The name of my business is Infinity Inspired Designs, and I'm from Prince Albert, Saskatchewan. I am a Métis citizen of M&S here in Saskatchewan, and I am from Treaty 6. I make ribbon skirts for ladies and adults, and I also make ribbon skirts for girls and young children. Mm-hmm. And I do create ribbon shirts and for the younger boys and for men as well. And I also make Métis sash items. I get my sash from Etchaboy, which is the official sash supplier for the Métis. We as Indigenous people have always had arts and creativity and entrepreneurship as part of our heritage, whether it be trading to have, you have one item and you trade to get a different item that you don't have. So I think we've always been entrepreneurs in our way of creating commerce and just even survival. I give advice that, start a little bit smaller, build your product, build your brand, and don't be discouraged on the first go or even the second go. I've been crafting for 45 years. I've tried all different items and from gardening to sewing, and that encouragement that you get from your family and friends really does make a big difference. And go with it, and go with your heart. If it feels right, then it probably is right. Just don't quit.
I am Megan Crofts from Saskatoon, and my company is Mount Nora Crystals. So my main business is crystals, gemstones, minerals from all over the world, but I also do energy work and card readings. I feel like it's very important because it's been something that we've grown up with. For myself, my parents have been business owners my whole life, but also even thinking back into our ancestors, fur trading back in the day, doing all the hunting, trading things, bartering. Yeah, it's been really important to have that community sense as well and being able to share that with other people. I feel like it's really important to do some research before you get into your business and figure out what exactly it is that you want from it. Don't have a very solid plan because you do need to be able to ebb and flow and move with it, have it be a little bit more fluid. But it's really good to have an idea of what it is that you want to achieve with your business, and then just allow spirit to guide you. Yeah, don't be afraid to take leaps of faith.
I'm from Saskatoon. My business is Claire's Closet, and my name is Claire Guzikowski. Oh God, what don't I sell? I like to refurbish and repurpose items, so I do a lot of moccasins and mucklucks that I repurpose. I repurpose jackets, any beadwork that I come into that's been broken, I can fix that. And I sell ribbon shirts and skirts and jewelry and mitts and just about everything, because it gives you a sense of pride in yourself, to say, this is what I did, I can do this, so it gives you pride. For myself it does. Go for it. And one thing I had to learn was to not be too judgmental of your own work. Yeah, don't, people will, you'll think, oh, that's didn't turn out right or whatever, and I've put it out there, and I've sold it, so we're our own worst critics. So just take that step and be proud of the stuff that you make, and everything falls into place. And the best part of it is we get to make new friends every time we go out and visit with old ones.
My name is Corrine Kaplan. My business name is Corrine's Crafts, and I'm from Saskatoon. Beadwork. All this. To get out there, there's not enough of us. A lot of people do it at home. They don't bring it out to the public. I think it should be all brought out. Very important. Do it from the heart. Don't copy other people. Do what you do best.
My name is Honey Constant Inglis. The name of my business is Honey Willow Nihio Studio, and I'm from Sturgeon Lake First Nation. Well, I sell beaded earrings, lanyards, scrunchies, stickers, literally anything that makes my heart happy. Indigenous entrepreneurship is important for a lot of reasons. Before I was an artist, I was an archaeologist. So we've been doing entrepreneurship since time immemorial. So literally entrepreneurship is just an extension of that, an adaptation of that we just continue to find ourselves thriving in. My best advice for anyone starting a business always has to start with the why. Why are we doing what we're doing? What does it add to our community? What voices or stories are we uplifting that aren't really heard normally? But once you find that why, it's also really important to consider, is this something that should be monetized? So fortunately, my business is around artwork and color and stories. So I find myself being able to afford my bills that way, which is very much a privilege. So think about all of those little things.
My name's Tennille Bird. I am from George Gordon First Nation, but I grew up in Saskatoon. My business name is Boss Lady Lashes and Accessories. I have a second business called Pitikwe Market as well. I sell Indigenous merchandise like t-shirts and sweaters. I started out selling lashes for $5 and glue, like press-on nails, DIY lashes, stickers, yeah, stuff like that. And I do what's popular and trending as well. So I did K-pop Demon Hunters stuff, and then I did La Boo Boos last summer. So yeah, I just kind of see what's trending and then I go with that as well. It's important to create our own sustainability. We've struggled a lot throughout history, and so we need to be able to stand on our own feet and build our own legacies for our own families. And so I feel like that's important. Just don't give up. It gets really tiring, it gets hard, but at the same time you got to think about the future, and you have to think about, for me it's my kids. I have 4 kids, so I want them to be able to see that they can work for themselves and keep going in that way.
Naomi Baker, Nitsigasin Kaptiguna Tinia. My name is Naomi Baker. I'm from Thunderchild First Nation. The name of our vendor group, there's 3 of us that vend together, is Anti-Energy Beads and More. We sell beading supplies, we sell beaded jewelry, dentalium, all Indigenous made. I think it's important for Indigenous people to be a part of the economy and to also take up space, just to take up space anywhere. And I feel like it's also important for us to show to Indigenous children you could do anything. Create a business plan. Try to stick to it as much as you can. Make sure you invest into your business financially, whether it's in store or vending. Make sure you just keep investing in your stock and have fun with it. Don't create a business just to stress yourself out. Have fun.
I'm Joseph Williams. I'm from Atakatup Cree Nation, and our business name is Nerdy Native. Right now we're just selling clothes, and with my friend we're selling 3D prints of Pokemon stuff. Those are various Pokemon 3D prints. We aspire to, I want one day to be a board game and video game retailer. Yeah, that's what I want to do here in Saskatoon. Indigenous anything is important. With Nerdy Native, I was really inspired by like Nietzsche Gear, and there's other businesses from my reserve like Nehia Hustle Clothing. They really inspired me. They take one aspect just in modern day, Nietzsche Gear took clothing and made it native. I want to make pop culture and make it more cultured. I do a lot of things shy, and that's okay. And just do it anyways. Like I go on stage and talk to people with comedy, and I'm shy every time. But just get out there, just do it.
So my name is Haifebi Shaheen. I'm born in Lebanon. I'm Palestinian, and the business is called Firekeepers Collective, and we represent about 14 or 15 different nations across Turtle Island and Indigenous nations elsewhere. We sell a lot of different stuff. So we sell everything from stickers and magnets and cards to fine art prints, jewelry, handmade leather goods, and then a whole bunch of apparel. Indigenous entrepreneurship is important because one, Indigenous art has the power to change the world, actually affect change really a lot. Two-spirit artists are the most represented in our collection, and the voices of genderqueer and trans and two-spirit artists are so important, and art and entrepreneurship is how we get that art out there. And without that, then we're relying on non-Indigenous people to sell our art, which is not okay. So that's why it's important. That it's an up and down road, that the best thing I ever did was find some mentors, find some people you look up to, and ask them to help you out, and never ever underestimate or undervalue yourself.
Okay, my name is Lee LaValle, but this is my daughter's table, Terry LaValle, and her business name is Northern Lights Wawastehona, named after her daughter. Yeah. You got to make sure you have enough product and then keep your money to buy more product to get to the next sale, because a lot of people will sell and then spend all the money and then they have no money to buy more product to keep your business going, so they don't know how to balance that. So most of your money is going to go back into your business.
Hi, my name is Colby Callio. I run Blue Lightning Designs. It's my Cree name. I also sell like various stuff. Usually because I'm a mother of 3, I have a tendency to create like stuff for kids. So like dresses, moccasins, star blankets, like honestly everything and anything. Like there's nothing that I can't make. But I do gravitate a lot towards the smaller kid stuff. So to me, I think that it's important because it's something that's, I guess if you will, trading and bartering has been a part of like just the longevity of Indigenous people. So like it's in your blood, and I think it's just second nature to a lot of people. Like if you're not physically trading with currency, it'll be like in a different form, like, you know, of equality. So for me, I would say go for it. A lot of people, when they have new things, like the fear of unknown can take over a lot of people and like prohibit them from wanting to do stuff because there's so much self-doubt. But my advice to people is just like let that go and just like spread your wings and take off.
My name is Starla Bruno, and I'm from Thunderchild First Nation, and the name of my business is 13 Moon Creative Studio. And the reason I have the 13 moons is there's 13 moons on the back of a turtle. Now I don't have a turtle in here, but I do love the hummingbird. And the reason I like it, because they're sensitive. They can go in very quickly, they can back out really quickly. And so they know they have that sensitivity. I sell custom star blankets. I also do some beading. Most of my beading is based on animals and spirit animals and that kind of thing. And I also sell fragrances through Essence. I believe it's important that because we need to support one another and we need to get out there and be proud of who we are. My best advice would be just get out there and do it. You'll have good days, you'll have bad days, but just do it.
My name is Grace Christensen, and this is Emily Sakura. The name of our business is CK Fragrance Boutique, and I'm from Mertensville, and Emily's from Saskatoon. We sell fragrance. We have women's fragrance, men's fragrance, and unisex fragrance, as well as skincare, makeup, and a lot more. It allows for economic independence, supports community, and also cultural preservation. I would say get a plan, find a product that you're passionate about, never give up, be consistent, and just get out there and promote your business.
Our name is William Leathers, William LaRock Leathers, and we are based out of Saskatoon, but our homelands are One Arrow and White Bear. We sell a large variety of homemade, handmade crafts that are, available here, but never in the stores. And the quality of getting other leather products to transform them to these products, it's amazing. For me, it is, we're not really allowed to sell back in the day. We were taken away from bartering, and now in this day and age, it's almost like it's free. We are allowed to express and change from money instead to product. And that's the best that we can do, is the bartering and the trading gives us blessings. Don't ever give up. Even when you have to hold the sign up, going around the powwow arbor with your 2-3 earrings that you think you don't have enough, your 2 to 3 earrings will only be that for so long, and it will grow into 500 to 100 earrings in a matter of days.
I'm Janice DeRocher. I'm from Prince Albert, Saskatchewan. My business is DMD Beadwork, and I just do beadwork and sell at powwows and markets around the area. I sell beadwork and beading supplies. I would say to just try do what you're passionate about and create what you love creating, and then just see how it goes. Yeah.
I'm Peyton Hardis. My business is Colt's Indigenous Creations, and I'm from Ebb and Flow, Manitoba. I sell everything. I sell hats, I sell regalia, I sell ribbons, skirts, beaded jewelry, kind of everything. Well, I think it's important because you want to follow your passion. If you have a passion for it, then it's important to follow your passion. I would say talk to your elders. That's what I did, and it guided me on how to make stuff. It helped me follow my passion.
My name's Carlene Maniguns, and my business is Maniguns Trading Co. I sell Indigenous brands. A lot of my work is hand-drawn, and I sell Section 35, the natives, and yeah, I'm just all about promoting different artists. Yeah. To have capital and to have a lot of drive and motivation.
My name is Loretta Tutau, Miko Sisikwan Esquel, Nitsigasin. Red Rattle Woman is my spirit name. Natuipit Saki, Holy Bird Woman, is my Blackfoot name. And I am the business owner and founder of Loretta's Wellness Circle. We are a Calgary-based business. We sell at our shop and online. We sell a variety of products, soaps, candles, sprays. Everything is rooted in the traditional teachings of the way that I was raised by my own kukum. And so we use sage, sweetgrass, cedar, essential oils, and essences to be able to contribute to your well-being. Indigenous entrepreneurship is really important because what it does is it creates space for us to be able to reflect some of our own values, our community, our traditional ways of life, to be able to integrate into everyday life and society. It's important to be able to put things together to take care of ourselves from that natural way of being. I would say that someone who would like to start a business, that they should be able to look at ways to be able to integrate their own practices and bringing that forward. There's a great amount of community that's always available to mentor them, to support them along the way. There's a lot of economic growth development grants to be able to help contribute to that own economic recognition.
I come from Saskatoon, lived here for probably half my life. And then I've also lived in Calgary, and I'm from One Arrow. So I mostly do aesthetics, so beauty services, so like facials and stuff like that. That's full-time what I do. First aid support. So I was helping the nurse with whatever she needed. So just kind of stuck around for that. It was easy. It wasn't what I was expecting. Yeah, I was kind of nervous to help out with that, but I mean, Pam did most of it. So I was just kind of there, yeah, really to help, but she did most of it, I would say. Yeah, it was really good. It felt big. A lot of people showed up. It was pretty busy, I would say. Really good performers. I could see the dancing from where I had to sit. And so it was nice that I got to watch like most of it. Definitely is important to have like a person that's well-rounded within the first aid because for the most part, like I was there, like people needed like a band-aid. I could do that. But yeah, there was a few incidences where I didn't know what to do and it needed like an actual nurse. So it is important that she was there. Like for sure, there was like a situation with like an elderly person. That's where I had no idea what to do in that situation. So, like there was a lot of elderly people at the powwows and anything can kind of happen at any time with them. So yeah, and they also had someone to come grab Pam for them. And it was a pretty serious situation. So with them, things can go either way or any kind of way. So that's pretty important for sure. It was just a really good time. Like it was already pretty busy, but I feel like if you had time to make it out, you definitely should have been there because it was really fun.
Andrew Belgard. I'm from Little Black Bear First Nation. I grew up small towns all my life. My dad was an RCMP member, and I was born in Meadow Lake actually. And ceremony singing has always been a part of my life. From teachers from my dad and going to ceremonies with him. So it's always been instilled in my ever since I was a young boy. Paulette was actually when she was coming up with the powwow for the Two Spirit Emotions powwow, and she caught me by surprise, and she was like, "Hey, I'm hosting a powwow. Do you want to be arena director?" And so I was like taken back a little bit because I never filled that role or that position before. But I did grow up, dancing pole throughout my years of, when I was growing up as a grass dancer. I was a treaty four flag carrier. So, back home, like, pole was, where it was instilled in me as a young man too, is also pole sing. So when she asked me, I was like, well, I was limited. I was like, sure. I had to talk with my wife because I know the dates that she gave me, it was like kind of, I have to make sure it didn't conflict with any ceremony dates that I go to. So, right away I checked and then I said, yeah, I'll for sure do it. So it was a high honor for me when she asked me. So I was up for the job and it was a big task. So it was something new for me. Most of all the arena directors do, and it's a big tough job. You have to make sure everything's run smoothly, always got to be on your feet. And I felt really ecstatic knowing that, being a part of the powwow and being included and being helpful for this event, was going to be, a reward in the end, which it was, being able to seeing all the families and people come together. And, it was such a high honor for a lot of people that came there and witnessed. So it was really good. Grand entries is a big main duty is a part of the powwow, and making sure that there's all the categories and being on time with the flow of the announcers and the agenda that goes along with the powwow, right? So you got to make sure and be cognizant of everything that's around your surroundings. You got to be up for anything, and then it's also it's also on the fly too. A lot of things like happen on the fly, so you got to be open minded and be prepared and respectful at the same time. So it comes with a lot of responsibilities, but it comes with a good outcome at the end too. Just have fun and be open to everything, but you always got to be on be sharp. You got to be on your toes at the same time, and especially if if anything serious happens. You got to do with protocol and respect and follow what was given direction on and stuff like that in case like an eagle feather fell and stuff like that. But you gotta think on your toes quick, and you gotta be mindful of that too. So if any new director is coming into play, just have fun and but always be sharp. I would say the inclusivity of everybody coming together. That was for a two spirit powwow in Saskatoon to be held for two years in a row. It just made the more people come together and be involved and to have fun and to share and laugh and experience all those good things, right? And that's what the coming together for a powwow is. It's a social event where you come together and express and show your showcase your style of dance, watch your favorite dancer, your favorite drum group. Just being in the presence of the dancers and the songs, this is what makes it a good power. So I'm very happy and thankful for giving that opportunity. I want to say that the announcers were really special moments. They kept the crowd going and just seeing all the little ones. I think the special moment was just watching those little ones be happy and with their families and being safe. That's what it was all about, to have everybody see a smile on their face, all the cookums and the mushums that came there, even though they think of a two-spirited powwow, and then some of them don't want to come to these things right away because they feel like it's out of the norm to come there and they don't do things properly or things. You know what I mean? But it's not about that. It's about being inclusive and being open to understanding, who we are and who these people are and who we, as First Nations people, these are who our people are too. So we gotta, respect that.
Angelo Washteshte. For the powwow, I was the sound coordinator with Washteshte Sound. My dad was adopted, so he was raised by a woman from Burtail, Sioux Valley, Manitoba. Alice Washteshte. That's where we get our Washteshte name from. His biological mom is from Kisikoos, and that's where my father was a band member. Late Gordon Washteshte of the Elks Whistle Singers. And so we were raised up around Sioux Valley. I think I was about 20 years old, 19 years old. I got into a hobby of karaoke. I want to say about 2010, somewhere in that neighborhood. Standing Buffalo didn't have anybody to do sound for their powwow. So the chief asked me to get on Kijiji or wherever and try to find a sound system that would be big enough to accommodate Standing Buffalo powwow way back then. And we managed to find a system, and it just kind of snowballed from there. So the chief and council bought that system, and they still actually have that system to this day, still at the school. And then eventually, when the chief and council changed over, we kind of parted ways, and it got big for me. So I kind of had to decide whether to go out on my own or just to continue under their little system there. So I chose to go out on my own. It's so important. A good sound system could make or break a powwow, that's for sure. And I like the challenge of it, the technical challenge of it. I feel like I know what a drum should sound like. So I do my best to make sure I customize my sound. I don't just set a mic one way and let it rip for all the drums, because could be 17 drums there. They're all very unique. They all have, some have word songs, some don't. I want to make sure that you can understand the words, because I think that's a big part of the song. So that's my goal when I do it. Am I successful 100% of the time? No, there's been loud drums and other things that could throw you off, but I like that challenge. I don't give up. I do my best to, every room is different. Every venue is different. So I love that challenge. And when a good drum is in the house and you make them sound good and the dance floor is popping, you can take a little bit of credit from that with your good sound, right? So that's my goal when I do that. I looked at it this way. I go to a lot of competition powwows where there's big prize money and everybody's focused on trying to get a piece of that pie. And I go to a lot of traditional powwows like pie pop, muscapine, powwows like that, where sometimes you get the big numbers, but it's not about the prize money. So I think the vibe itself is much more relaxed. I love watching the kids at a traditional powwow because they don't have a care in the world except for when that drum beat starts and they just get out there and there's no questions asked. MCs don't even have to entice them to get out there. They're ready to go. And I think I appreciate that the most about a traditional powwow. And I think the Two Spirit in Motion powwow really truly has that vibe, very relaxed, and people aren't shy. With the Two Spirit powwow, you walk around the room and everybody's smiling, everybody's excited. And I think I like that about traditional powwows the best. I arrived there. Paulette and the crew were at the venue ready to, and she was like, no, let's get the sound set up now. Let's have an early sound check. We don't have to worry about it later. Grand entries were on time. Dignitaries were on time. MCs were entertaining. I thought it went off without a hitch. With the Two Spirit in Motion powwow, we got there early. They were ready to accommodate us. They fed us all day long. You couldn't complain about anything, absolutely nothing. It was all, and it wasn't one person. There was a lot of people walking around, a lot of people offering help, even when they were just kind of standing by idly. They were always willing to jump in. The pipe ceremonies were done early in the morning. So no, my hat's off to them. They did a very good job.
Cheryl Prosper. I'm from One Arrow First Nation, living here in Saskatoon for about 15 years now, maybe a little bit over. The first year I was actually the medic assistant, and I kind of handed that off. Just want to enjoy the powwow as much as I can, and yeah, that kind of took away from a lot of this stuff, like watching and stuff like that. just having to stay in one spot, making sure that I guess the visible we were present if anybody needed medical attention or needs. I was proud of the committee and the management of it all. The sponsors they're getting better as the years go by. Everything's just working out better and smoother. Yeah, the numbers have grown. More people are coming from other provinces, even the states are coming. More sponsorship. They had a good turnout. It's really nice to be a part of.
My name is Joe Putra. I am from Pipod First Nation. You put a microphone in my hand, and either you want me to talk or tell some jokes or sing. Paulette approached me and asked if I would be open and available to do the Two Sims Powwow last year. And oh my gosh, that was such an honor, to be even asked and to be thought of. That was a big thing. So that was kind of nerve wracking. Like, holy smokes, like, over the weekend, that's like thousands of people. That's something I've always kind of wanted to do. Like, I could talk all day, all weekend, all week. I could talk to you for the next 5 years, and I don't know if we'd learn anything, but I know we'd have a lot of laugh lines, even like work alongside my co-MC Rising Sun. Like we've worked together before quite a bit, and yeah, we're really good bros. We like to tease and joke around. So like you can only tease your partner for so long before they start getting grouchy. So that's why you got to get after the whole committee. And because that's for like 2 days, sometimes a 3-day event. And so yeah, you got to be able to have a good relationship with everyone so they don't get grouchy. They know you're just teasing them to make everyone else feel comfortable and have fun at the celebration. Some advice, yeah. Don't start for another 20 years because uncle's gonna be busy. No, no, just kidding. Be confident. You have to be confident because you got to know that there's a bunch of eyes watching you. And also, just got to be careful, what you say. A lot of times there's families there, so you got to be careful with your language. And also, that's another big thing is, being out there. And one of my traditional teachings, as when I learned from young, is you actually have to be careful what comes out of your mouth, because those are like prayers and those go on forever, right? So you got to be very careful with what you say and how you tease. Tease to have fun. Don't tease to be mean. Just do your best to keep talking, even if you're just rambling on. Do your best to have like no dead air. That's another big thing. Some advice: keep the party going. The celebration going. You got to keep the energy, high energy. I enjoyed it so much. The amount of dancers, the amount of drums that came and supported and helped. With traditional powwow. That's a big thing to come on out, and powwows are really good, and to come out to do and support a traditional one. To me, I think it makes a person feel good, to be able to contribute. Because there's a lot of really good drums that come out there, and they made a jam all weekend. And being in the position where I was, like, you get like a bird's eye view. You're right there. You get to feel everything, all the energy. Two Sims is a powwow that that's what we get to do, and get to have a lot of fun. So the energy stays high. So as you leave, hopefully everyone's leaving in like in high spirits and feeling good about themselves. I know, because that's how I'm feeling when I leave. The more we could celebrate, the better. The more we could bring people together, the better. Regardless the settings, that's what we need. Is we need group healing. The more the better. And something like this, it really helps. Like I said, the energy. So if we go away all feeling well, then I think then we've all done something super special.
My name is Pam Prosper. I am from One Arrow First Nation in Treaty 6 territory in Saskatchewan. I am Cree, and then my mom is non-Indigenous, so she's from European descent, I guess. Professional background, I'm a
Yeah.
registered nurse in children's emergency. So I've worked there for 10 years in children's emergency, but I've been nursing for 15 years now. And then I just moved jobs now. So I'm working in all three hospitals doing some more specialized things, I suppose. But so I was the nurse at the Two Sims Powwow. So I have been lucky enough to be the nurse for 3 years now with the Two Spirits Emotion Society. And what I do at the Two Sims Powwow is I come there and offer medical support for the staff and for the elders, and then all the participants in the powwow and the guests that are there as well. And then this year now, I think word is getting out that I'm there, that I have a lot of supplies and a lot of things. And so there was a steady stream of people that needed me this year. And I had Amy Prosper as my first aid support this year. So it was really nice. The two of us were able to communicate with a radio and we were able to go around and just be available for whatever people needed. So I think as we go through the powwow more and people understand that I'm more than just offering a band-aid, like I truly do have some nursing background and some ability to support them in more things, then I think it's getting busier. It feels good to be there. I'm proud to be able to support everyone the way that I do. I'm proud of my background and my education, and I'm happy that I'm able to give back to community in that way. But I also just really love the Two Sims Powwow because it is such an inclusive space and it's such a welcoming place. And as a Two-Spirit person, I don't always feel like every place is as welcoming as the Two Sims Powwow is. And so it's really good to work there and it's good to just be there for the weekend, or if I guess this time was during the week, but it's good to be there for the few days and to enjoy being around people who are like me and people who understand where we're coming from, I guess, as two-spirit people. It just feels like a really safe environment to work in. And it's my favorite event that I do anything at all year because it's so many of us coming together for a common goal. And like I said, it's very inclusive and welcoming. So it's my favorite place to work. So the Two Spirits in Motion Society for me has many layers of support for me and my family. So I have some two-spirit children as well. And my one two-spirit child was really targeted at a powwow that we were at that wasn't a two-spirit powwow. And they were really singled out as somebody that was different. And they were asked to leave the dancing arena because they were dancing a style that wasn't for their gender. And so for me, having that safe place where my family can come and they can be who they are, and they have people, the Two Spirits in Motion Society staff is all very welcoming and very wonderful for my kids too, and for myself. And so I think without those people and without kind of the same faces every year, then my kids hold back more and they feel like maybe they're the only one like they are. But then once you go to the Two Spirits in Motion Powwow or any events that they put on, there's people in there all from all across Turtle Island, and they all work together. And having them all come together in one space and show everyone that they aren't alone, that there's lots of two spirits out there, and we all can come together and support each other is really, it's something that has not really happened in my life before I started working with the Two Spirits in Motion Society and before I realized that this organization existed. And like I said, they just do a really good job of making everything feel very safe and very welcoming. And it doesn't matter who you are, you're allowed to be in their space.
Okay, great. I think that's about it. So I'll just thank you very much, Pam, and it's some good answers there. And we'll just end the meeting and save the recording. Oh
Awesome.
shit, I forgot to hit record.
Oh, it said it was being
Oh,
recorded. I think you should be
okay,
good.
I can't bullshit you, eh? Okay, all right. Okay, take care, eh?
All right.
See you later.
Take care.
Yes,
Bye-bye.
bye-bye.
My name is Preston Fleming. I'm registered with the Métis Nation of Saskatchewan, and I'm the project coordinator with Two Spirits in Motion Society. I oversee a lot of the projects and just ensuring that they're meeting all the deliverables, but specifically for the powwow, I help in an admin capacity, but I was in charge of making sure we had pipe carriers, making sure they were taken care of to have ceremony before each day. I grew up attending ceremony. My mom was very traditional and spiritual. We did attend powwows, but it was more as a spectator. My mushroom was really strict about us participating in things, and one of those things was powwows, and he was very strict. So I don't want to like talk down about powwows, obviously. Like he's seen the importance of them, but he also seen how competitive powwows were creating negative experiences for people, and sometimes in his words was like an abuse of protocol or an abuse of our ways in some cases. But throughout my upbringing, traditional powwow started taking, taking foot, and a lot of those traditional powwows were being revitalized where it wasn't so much emphasis on competition. Anything we do as, First Nation, Métis, or whatever you identify as Indigenous people, ceremony is the foundation of everything we do. So any event that we host with Two Sims, we always start in ceremony. And not just event, any project. When we start a project, even if we just received funding and, we haven't maybe had all our ducks in a row, one of the first things we do is we have ceremony and we pray for, a successful outcome, in the work that we're doing and hoping that we're representing community in a good way. But aside from just the POW, like ceremony is it's our worldview. It's how we see the world and it's how we engage with each other. It's kinship, it's language, it's our identity. So it needs to be part of the processes that we do with our work, because if we're working with Two Spirit people or Indigenous people in general, that has to be part of your work. Yeah, not everyone believes in spirituality or traditions, but that doesn't mean it shouldn't exist. Our intention is always, our work is for the Two Spirit community specifically. However, we see the importance of including all community in our work because that's how Two Spirit people traditionally were in community. We weren't separate, we were part of the community. So seeing and witnessing our powwow grow year after year has been very beautiful because I see a lot of conversations. And aside from the obvious things with a powwow, pride, culture, taking up space, celebrating our ways of life, and celebrating each other. Aside from all that, one of the most beautiful things I witness at our powwow is conversations about like things happen differently at our powwow. We don't run it in the same way a normal powwow is run, but that's very intentional. And the beautiful thing I like is seeing community show up to our powwow, regardless of how it's run. We don't separate anything by gender because people know where they're dancing. We don't need to gender them. And those little things, they make impacts in Two Spirit people's lives for sure. But yeah, I think it's beautiful to see our community come and celebrate our identities while also participating in an inclusive space, even if they don't know they are. It's a big event to host, and we have a small team. And I mean, we have a lot of great contractors that we hire out to help us with that. But this was the vision of our youth council, that they wanted a powwow to celebrate Two Spirit people. And, you know, I think it's evident that we're running a good powwow because it keeps growing year after year. We almost need a bigger venue. I'm just excited. I'm excited to see how our powwow grows in the future. All the contractors we have, we didn't only try to select Two Spirit people because we see the importance of including everyone, because then these conversations and these experiences live with you guys, and you guys get to bring that into community too. So yes, we need safe and separate spaces sometimes, but in the grand scheme of things, culturally, spiritually, it's important to make sure everyone has a place in that circle. And I try to live by that. So I'm really happy that we have such amazing contractors that support us. And, I see the value in the work that you guys do with our community too.
Good afternoon or evening. My name is Rising Sun Kiso Ismat. I come from the Kakwistyle First Nation. I come from the Treaty 4 territory, an hour and a half east of Regina. I've been in the powwow circuit for let's say most of my life. I've been dancing since I've been able to walk, so about 2 years old. I'm 43 right now, so about 41 years of powwow experience. I've been throughout Indian country, traveling the world, and just recently, within the matter of 7 to 8 years, I got into the MC circuit. I didn't plan on it. I just kind of got asked by a family to help them out because they had no MCs, and that's when I really took over, I guess. I helped them out and it kind of just blew up from there. Being an MC and working with different individuals and different companies and gatherings, and not only that, meeting new people and new communities and everything like that. So I really enjoy it. It gives not only my chance, but my kids a chance to travel as well and meet new people. As a power MC, you kind of want to keep everything rolling at the schedule. Usually every power has an agenda, and you try to go along close as possible to that agenda, and kind of keep things moving. Like I try to keep less dead air. I try to keep talking, and also I try to share information that people may not know, like sharing with education or telling people about how to conduct their children in the ceremony life in a good way, and not harsh of getting bad, but trying to say it nicely where people understand. Well, I've been a crazy guy myself my whole life. Man, I was quite the character when I was young. Like when I was in school, I was the funny guy in class, the class clown. The teachers used to tell me to be quiet, and everything like that. So being an MC, it's kind of natural for me because I'm always talkative. I'm always making people laugh or cracking jokes, teasing people, right? So it's kind of just a normal day for me. So that's what I like about being an MC. I would say, like, if you're really trying to get into MC, just be yourself, be yourself, joke, learn how to joke and take jokes, and learn how to give out information without being so long and people get tired of hearing you speak and something. Kind of get to the point a little bit, and be crazy, talk in a nice way, and also have flexibility to understand where you're at and their protocols and cultures and stuff like that. So I always say, as an MC, it's good to go to the powwows maybe an hour to 2 hours early. That way you could sit with the committee, ask them your expectations, and kind of inform them what you bring to the table. And if any problems to work out, it's always good to be open, an open MC where you don't have to be stuck in one way, right, all the time. So the year before was my very first time, and the company and everybody, the head staff, man, they truly treated us right. Like looked after us, had nothing to worry about. Even at the POW, when we're there, we didn't have to say, "Oh, I'm thirsty." They had drinks and everything coming up, and they looked after us very good. And it to me, it was quite a humbling experience. Not only humbling, but honor, very honored to ask to be able to speak there and be the master of ceremonies, because that's becoming more and more in our First Nations. There's more and more two-spirited people in our First Nations. And when I was growing up, my grandfather used to always share with me never to be judgmental towards them. Then they have gifts that none of us have. They have unique gifts, and that's the way I look at it. And they're very powerful people, and I was very honored to get that chance to be able to sit with that committee and work with them. And so I'm very grateful, and I was looking forward to that, Paul, because the energy and the feel of the committee, it says a lot towards the POW, right? When you get to a POW and you meet the committee and everybody there, you can kind of sense the feeling of how the POW is going to feel before the POW even starts. And that the host committee of the two Sims, man, it's just happy, lucky, and smiles and everything, right? And it's just a good time. It's just a great time whenever I go there. So my overall feeling was very, very how would I say it? Very relaxation, very welcoming. Like very like I was at home, like I wasn't in Saskatoon or visiting at a different POW. I was feeling like I was at a home POW, and all my friends were there, and I felt really relaxed, very welcoming, very heartwarming. Like it's a different feeling when I've been to both kind of POWs, like a regular POW, and I went to the Two Sims POW in the past 2 years. And there's two different feelings to both POWs. And the Two Sims POW is like a feeling it's hard to describe because your heart is very full with joy, and you care about everybody, and everybody's so welcoming, and everybody is like smiling and shaking hands and having fun, and we're just there to dance and sing. And man, it's such a good feeling. If anybody never been to one, I suggest you strongly go to a Two Sims POW, and you'll feel the love of everybody there. I want to share that, for the people that may not know or understand about the Two Sims POW, it's just a normal POW, and nothing's changed, and we're all welcoming over there, and they welcome everybody with open hearts. We go there and we sing and dance just like any other POW. There's nothing really different with the POW. So I strongly encourage everybody to at least come to one gathering and feel the vibe, feel the nature that committee brings to that powwow, and you won't regret it. You'll feel very, very happy and fulfilled with that powwow joy for the rest of the week.
My name's Angelina Lamy, and my title is the Ecosystem Project Lead and Supervisor. I think the powwow went really well. Last year, there was 500 and I think 30 dancers, and we just surpassed it this powwow, so I think it went really well. I think it has grown in a few different ways. There has been a lot more vendors and a lot more dancers, and a lot more community members have come and supported us and shown up. We've had a lot more sponsors. Last year we had maybe less than 10, and this year we surpassed it by a lot. I don't know the exact number, but a lot more engagement from community and sponsorship. It makes me feel good. I feel like we're just growing as an organization and really getting our place out there in the powwow trail. So yeah, I'm really happy. In the days leading up to the powwow, it was honestly very stressful. I handled majority of the logistics, so I can say that I was very stressed out. I also live in Winnipeg, so I had to make the 9-hour drive to Saskatoon. Spiritually, I felt good. I knew that the powwow was going to be good, and it was a really good event, but just leading up to it, it was very stressful. I felt really good. I felt that all my hard work was successful. I think I did a really good job in the planning aspects, and just seeing it come to life was very meaningful. I liked that we were able to lift pipe every day and just pray for everybody's safe journeys to the powwow, pray for the forced coerced sterilization survivors, and just pray that everyone was able to go back to their home fire safely. My heart feels warm. Like, I feel like Two Sims has done a very good job providing a safe space for Two Spirit people to dance in whatever category they want to dance. So I danced in the forced coerced sterilization special. It was the moss bag and cradle board special. And as a survivor of forced coerced sterilization, I knew I had to dance, but I knew it would also be very hard for me to do. For majority of the dance, I was crying, but I also felt like strong, and I felt very proud of everyone for showing up and dancing in that special. And I was also gifted from one of the women of forced coerced sterilization. They had let me dance with the moss bag that their own baby was in. So that was very special, and it was very special for my wife to be there watching me. It's a very meaningful thing, having that special. It's very important to spread awareness of the forced core sterilization, and it's also important to have the survivors be in the dance as well. I have never worked for an organization that cares about their employees so much. The team is very close and it's like my second family. Like, we are a remote organization, but I spend a lot of time like in meetings or even like in person. And I feel like every time that we get to hang out in person, our bonds grow stronger. Like, we don't just work together, we also do ceremony together. And I think that aspect brings us even more close. And I think it's very special to have those relationships because I think chosen family is just as important as like blood family. I just want to give a shout out to our executive director, Polly. She does such amazing work for our organization and also in community. And I think she is just the glue that holds everyone together. And I'm just very lucky that I get to know her and work alongside her and learn from her. My main project within Two Sims was the Two Spirit Entrepreneur Masterclass series, and it was very meaningful to be able to invite the 4 participants that did their master classes. We invited them and they were honored and blanketed. And so the Two Spirit Entrepreneur Masterclasses, it was entrepreneurs that were able to showcase their businesses and talk about who they are, where they come from, how they started their business, where it's going. They were able to give advice. So we invited all 4. There was Scott Wabano, who's a fashion designer, Mo Clark, who is a performer and songwriter, Daystar Belcourt, who's a traditional tattoo artist and in the gardening business, and then Ashley Wadidika, who has a TP and wall tent business. Bringing those Two-Spirit entrepreneurs from all across Turtle Island, I think, was very special for them to just be honored in just, the Indigenous ways of being. It's important to be honored in front of community because they do serve the community. And so we had 30 vendors, and they were all Indigenous businesses. And with that, we were able to help showcase their business. When they registered, we asked them for their business name and their business plan, if they needed help with business cards and banners. We also showcased them during the powwow. The MCs said their business names, and they were also showcased on the big screen. Entrepreneurship was a big part of the powwow, thanks to the CGLCC organization, who was my funder, the ecosystem project. And it was really just about showcasing Indigenous entrepreneurs.
My name's Curtis Cameron. I'm Cree from Beardy Snoqualmie First Nation, Treaty 6 territory. This year and last year's powwow, I was the official photographer. In terms of overall, in general, the powwow, like every powwow, for me, it brings more of a celebration and a gathering to to visit and to meet. A lot of what we do is just meeting other people, seeing old friends, um, socializing, and that's kind of how I look at the powwow in general, with some ceremony involved with it, like the grand entry, the specials, the honorings, and all that kind of stuff. Those ceremonies are brought in there. But it's hard to say. Like, for me, you think of the powwow is a ceremony. Oh no, it's a social gathering. But to me, it's everything. As an indigenous person, is our whole life is like a social gathering or a ceremony kind of thing. That's how I look at it, anyways. And I come there and with an open mind and open heart and looking to learn a lot of the stuff that goes on for the Two Spirits of Motion traditional powwow. It's really a pretty special thing. I see a lot of my family, like Hudson Penner and Alexandra Cameron, who were the head dancers there. Seeing them honored where it's safe and they're allowed to be who they are really holds a special place in my heart. I notice when I'm taking photos and they're getting all emotional and dancing their style, something comes over me where it's like this wave, these goosebumps, that rush, that feeling. I've come from a dancer's background. I danced for quite a while. So I know a lot of the people, and it's really good to see, the allies come together and just enjoy each other's company and dance in a safe environment and dance their style and just really enjoy themselves. A lot of it is the categories. I have a real big respect for the grand entry. It's a place where I can actually take every single person's photo and get in their portraits, and I just stand on one side and I shoot everybody as they come by. And look, some of them smile and they wave and they look at me and they pose, and some of them just dance. For me, one thing that I probably shy away from is if somebody's just walking. If they're just walking into a grand entry and I already know I'm taking a million photos, I kind of might not take their photo. Also, like the victory song, and then everybody starts celebrating. I try to shoot that and I try to capture that feeling. And it's so hard to capture that feeling in a single frame. When I go to a powwow and people see me at a powwow, they point to me and they say, "Hey, Curtis," and they smile and they pose, and I really, really love that. You know, I like to shoot new people that I've never met before. People call me over and say, "Can you take a picture of me and my friend here?" And they'll smile and they'll pose and you know, and I really really love that. Like it helps me so much. I'm trying to take as many pictures of everybody. I'm trying to take pictures of everybody at the powwow. So when they come up to me and say, "Hey, could you take my picture?" I'm like, okay, that just makes my job a little bit easier. I could get their picture and stuff because in a way I'm still kind of a shy person to go up to people, and it's something I've worked out of, coming out of my shell, and having the cameras really helped me do that. So when I'm walking around and say, "Hey, I want to take your photo," so I'll go up to people and ask them. But when they come up to me and say, "Hey, can you take my picture?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, for sure, definitely." And I think our people are so beautiful, and no matter what they're going through or who they are and where they come from, you know, people are beautiful to me. I don't know, like being an official photographer helps out a lot too. So I could go in there, and a lot of my one of my favorite places to shoot from is at the center pole, the lodge pole. I usually shoot from there, or I go right into the circle. Sometimes I'll plant myself, but I'll do it during intertribals or the tiny tots. I'll go plant myself right in the middle, so all these dancers are coming past me, and I get to see them. Boom, boom, boom. I take their photos as they're coming past me, and just being out there, and how it makes me feel is like I feel at home doing a powwow and being part of that circle for many years, and it's home for me. And I think I'm doing the job that I was meant to do for the people. It's more than work, it's a life, getting paid to live my life.
My name is Carly Bearhead. I come to you from Paul First Nation out in Treaty 6 territory. I'm a singer and artist and one of the head drum bosses alongside my partner, who will introduce himself now.
Hi, my name is Tristan Ironstar. I come from Carry the Kettle in Nakota Oyate out of southern Saskatchewan in Treaty 4 territory.
We were part of the head drum boss role. We coordinated the hand drum contest.
Paul has been a long time part of my life ever since I was a little baby. I come from a long line of Powwow family. Been a senior dancer myself. Been a part of Powwow my entire life. Traveled all over North America, singing, dancing. This year's Powwow was actually a huge success in my eyes. I looked at how the Powwow's grown over the past couple of years. Not only just within the local area in Saskatoon, but even far beyond that. Like there's people that come from the States, people that come out from across Canada. It's really nice to see how it's growing and it's reaching out to so many people and drawing in community members from all over. So we worked alongside Paulette and the committee to help, as Carly mentioned, help to organize the hand drum contest for the powwow, as well as to just get out there and navigate in the community before the powwow, to bring in more singers, bring in more drum groups, bring in more dancers, and more community members, to get the name of the powwow out there and get the people to come and celebrate, share their music, share their songs, share their healing with all the people and all the visitors.
For me personally, it was very touching for me because as I mentioned, I'm a singer and artist. So that's how I started off singing. I'm artist in a group by the name of the Barehead Sisters, and we travel across Canada and the USA. We successfully won a Juno Award, and we were contestants on Canada's Got Talent. So to go back to the hand drum, it was really meaningful for me and for Tristan, and we wanted to kind of do it for men and women. So I think we did 5 men this year max, and 1 was the minimum. So it kind of went really good. Last year, since we've been running it, we've had a lot of entries, and it meant like a lot to me and Tristan to see a lot of people come together and participate in the hand drum contest.
Powwow has evolved as a opportunity for people to reconnect with their culture, to reconnect with their identity, to reconnect with their community, to find a place that is safe, a place that is healing, and a place that unifies people from all areas. So what we wanted to do with the hand drum contest was provide a space for singers of all walks of life, all backgrounds, all nationalities, to come in and utilize the drum to provide a song from their community, their background, wherever it may be, and showcase it. So we opened it up. We had people that would sing round dance, people that would sing kahumani, people that would sing sidestep. We had people that would sing old time songs from back in the 80s, the 70s. So it provided a really great opportunity to see people from all areas come together, showcase their talent, but then also be able to win a cash prize.
Well, I thought it went really good to see everybody coming together and connecting, especially the young people and the elders. I noticed from last year it has grown bigger and larger, and it's just really good to see the community coming together, especially in cities and towns. A lot of our Indigenous youth they live in the city and they can't get to the communities like the res and stuff to attend these certain events. And so to see that event come to the city, it meant to me to see all the youth come together out there. It was really good. This year's powwow was very inspiring for me.
Shout out to Two Sims and the powwow committee, all the organizers, the volunteers for creating this powwow. Right over the last 2 years, the growth that has come out of that powwow is tremendous. Right, it's talked about way over here in Alberta. It's talked about in the States. People come from all over, and so shout out to everything that it is that the sponsors, the volunteers, that they all do, right? As well as all of the singers, the visitors, the dancers, for coming out and showing their support as well.